He wasn't the loudest actor in the room. He didn't chase big-budget franchises, viral moments, or headline-making roles. And yet, Chris Lowell has built something rare in Hollywood: quiet, undeniable respect. While others fought for attention, Lowell focused on craft. The result? A career that's flown under the radar but left a deep impression on audiences, critics, and his peers alike. This is how the man who never chased fame ended up with something even better: legacy. Chris Lowell might not be a household name, but if you've watched great television or quietly powerful films in the past 2 decades, chances are he's been part of them. From Veronica Mars to Private Practice, from Glow to Promising Young Woman, Lowell has shown up, delivered, and elevated every project he touches, without needing the spotlight to validate him. He's the kind of actor whose presence makes scenes better, characters deeper, and stories more real. Born in Atlanta, Georgia, Lowell didn't grow up with a typical Hollywood pipeline. He was studying film at USC when he got his big break, a role in life as we know it, not because he had connections, but because casting directors saw something authentic in him. From the start, Lowell seemed less interested in playing characters than in becoming them. He wasn't trying to be the next heartthrob or the next big name. He just wanted to work, to learn, to act. And that intention has shaped every step of his journey. In Veronica Mars, he played Piz, charming, sincere, a character that could have been forgettable in other hands but became quietly unforgettable because of the warmth and sincerity Lowell brought to him. Then came Private Practice, where he portrayed William Dell Parker, a character who had to balance youthful optimism with personal tragedy. And again, Lowell didn't overplay it. He let the nuance speak. What's fascinating about Chris Lowell is how intentionally he's avoided the traditional fame trap. At a time when so many actors chase Instagram followers and red carpet attention, Lowell invested in his craft. He wrote, he directed, he produced. In 2013, he directed Beside Still Waters, an indie film that showed off his sharp eye for emotional storytelling. It didn't make millions. It didn't need to. It proved that Lowell wasn't just a face. He was a filmmaker. Then came Glow, Netflix's cult favorite dramedy about the 1980s women's wrestling scene. As Bash Howard, Lowell brought flamboyance, complexity, and surprising vulnerability to a role that could have easily been one-dimensional. Critics praised his performance not because it was loud or flashy, but because it was human. He played Bash like a man running from his pain by hiding behind glamour and jokes, a subtle, tragic thread that made his performance unforgettable. And in Promising Young Woman, Lowell leaned into the discomfort, playing the kind of nice guy who represents a deeper commentary on complicity. It was risky. No actor wants to be hated, but Lowell understood the power of the story. He wasn't afraid to be disliked if it meant being honest. And that honesty, that willingness to serve the narrative rather than his own image, is what makes his work stand out. Off-screen, Chris Lowell is just as grounded. He keeps a low profile, shares little about his personal life, and lets the work speak for itself. But among fellow actors, directors, and collaborators, there's a deep respect for what he brings to the table. He's not the guy chasing every opportunity. He's the guy who waits for the right ones. And when he shows up, he delivers. Lowell's career is a quiet masterclass in longevity. He's moved between genres, roles, and platforms without ever losing his sense of purpose. He reminds us that fame is fleeting, but impact isn't. That you don't need to be everywhere to matter. That slow, thoughtful growth can lead to something more lasting than hype. Now, as he continues to take on new projects, fans and critics alike are paying closer attention. Because the truth is, Chris Lowell might have started out under the radar, but he stayed in the game because he chose depth over noise, authenticity over exposure. And in the end, that's what makes his career so deeply respected. He never wanted to be the star of the tabloid stories. He didn't need to be the face of the franchise. Chris Lowell just wanted to do good work, and in doing so, he's become exactly what Hollywood needs more of: real talent, quiet strength, and a legacy that will last far longer than the fame he never asked for.